all tarot lovers out there. This is a timeless pick a card reading with the label or the headline, what is up with your relationship? With me, Queen of Cups Tarot. So this will be the number 1, 2, 3, 4. And I want you to choose from one of these decks intuitively. So intuitively usually means take the one that you first spot and that you feel drawn to. Can also be that one is shining up with a brighter color for you, or have some other kind of sign. For me, it's usually the one I avoid, so it can be different for different people. But don't think. Thinking is not intuition, it's the mind. So try to choose a pile with your intuition. You can also watch all these different piles, the whole reading, and see what resonates with your situation. So I will give you some time to make this choice. So hope you were able to see which one was for you. And I will start and do the reading for pile number 1. Now put aside these other piles 3 to 4. So this is the stone for pile number 1. Put it there. So first it's some tarot cards for you from the Anna K Tarot. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune is usually like a pattern reappearing in your life. The same thing, like you're on heights and then you're low and height and low. So it might be that the relationship is a little bit on and off again. But it also shows that you're on a spiral of learning, that you're supposed to go through the same thing over and over again. It's like repetition in school until you know how to handle this particular situation and its challenges. Sometimes it's also a little bit about someone gambling or taking risk, like rolling the dice. If we take chances, if we take a risk, we don't really know what the universe is going to bring back to us. But sometimes it's better to take a risk and roll the dice than to do nothing at all and stay in our safety zone. Next card here is a 5 of Pentacles. So it shows that for me that this pattern is about not feeling respected, valued and loved, and maybe feel taken for granted. It can also be situations where we don't have the best self-esteem. We can feel like we are not worthy, or there's nothing for other people to love, or other people make us feel like we are not worthy, respected, or that they kind of take whatever we can give, but they don't give anything back. And we also have a 10 of Rods here. So notice 10, the Wheel of Fortune is a major arcana card, and this 10 of Rods is tied to this 10. So it shows a situation where you are being constantly maybe bombarded with criticism, or people doing things towards you that makes you feel very intimidated. And this makes you start to control your own expression, because you don't want bad consequences. So you don't want to make a roll with the dice, for example, communicate something of how you feel not respected, because if you do, there will be hell to pay. So you learn to kind of close off your natural signals, your natural expression, because you don't want people to get mad at you, or to become upset with you, or to make life a living hell for you. So it seems like you have been a victim early on of relationships where you have been very conditioned, or people have been asking you to behave in a very strict fashion. So you might have been growing up in a family where rules were very important, or at least that you followed the rules. So now you have been like a rule follower, and if you don't follow the rules, you feel cast out or ignored, or kind of excluded. So we'll see what this have to say. It seems like it's talking about relationships for you in general, like how you are treated in maybe the most of your relationships. Okay. And here we have also storm warning. So it was like snow coming in here. But here it's also the storm. So the storm warning, it seems like this situation is not sustainable. It can not continue in this way. You can't let yourself be controlled in this fashion. So it seems like the divine is going to help you. Maybe they are going to roll the dice for you because they don't want to see you in this situation where you are not honored. So there might come in some cleansing winds in your different relationships, and you might feel even worse, like you're trying to avoid a disaster, trying to avoid people getting mad at you. But here the divine very much put you in a situation where people will get mad at you, and you are kind of asked to act accordingly with your instincts and intuition, and not let people kind of push you into a square of what you are allowed to be or how you're allowed to behave. Rather sacrifice these relationships than yourself. This cleansing wind wants to help you, so roll with it. You have no real use of people not being nice to you anyway, because they're not going to make you happy. So it's better to focus on being more purely you and express yourself fully. So that you can find people that you're a better match to. And here we have also, this was from Energy Oracle Cards, Anna K Tarot, and this is from Gateway Oracle Cards. I accept and embrace my inner majesty. And this is why these disrupting things are happening in your life, because the divine wants to see that you rather sacrifice the relationships than yourself. Accept what is. It means like accept you for who you are. Accept that people might not like this person who you are. Accept that you might need to let people go, or they will let you go, or situations needs to let go. Or you might be cast out of different situation and feel again left out in the cold. But don't make it about you being left out in the cold. Be it about you not fitting into these situations, because it's like you are being conditioned to try to fit into situations you don't fit into, or fit in with people you don't fit into. You're trying to behave so that you will be accepted. And now the divine is asking you to accept yourself. If you feel irritated with a person, communicate that in a nice diplomatic fashion, of course, that suddenly I feel irritated about this situation. I think it might be that I'm reacting towards this. And maybe this person has something like a solution to this situation. If they don't want to come with solutions, they are usually the problem, okay? The one that's trying to, kind of control you. So accept that you can't repair some situations, you can't make some people understand you, and you can't have things in the way you want to, as always, because you probably have really tried to behave in a certain kind of way to make people love you, and that's not going to help. So it's much better that you align with who you truly are and find the people that love you for who you truly are. And here we have the card that was on front. It's the Grace cards. And we have Awaken. So the divine is asking you to awake with this thunderstorm that's coming in here. Lord, please, angel, beautiful angel, wake up. Because you are a beautiful spirit. It's just that you're holding back your own expression because of fear of the consequences. So keep your eyes open. When we decide to live a more conscious life, we see signs of grace everywhere. So you will learn by doing that when you align with yourself, good things will happen, and you will see how loved you are by the universe. But it will take some time, because there's a certain momentum to what you created before, and it has repeated in your life in a certain fashion. So it's going to continue repeating and maybe even become slightly worse. But just, accept what is. That, okay, so these people doesn't like me, and also make problems small and you bigger, so you don't get so intimidated when a person is angry with you, or you are being threatened with something like some kind of consequence. Make that until a small problem, and make yourself as big, like in your imagination, that you can handle whatever is, okay? So accepting what is also kind of means that when you accept the situation, you also kind of are able to change it and to rule that situation, because when you accept it, there's nothing more to be fearful of. You have accepted everything that was scary, and you also accept that you fix the things that you can fix, and you don't fix the things you can't fix, and you don't worry about the things you can't fix. So it's about making problems smaller and more manageable, and yourself more grand and more important in your own eyes. Like, listen to yourself more. So interesting read for you, and it's really like you have heaven's support, but currently you're trying to fight it off and stay in the old, but that's not going to roll, okay? So I hope that helped, and I will continue with pile number 2. Okay, so this is pile number 2 with this little stone here. Put it there. It's imagination. So we have some tarot cards for you here as well, and it's from the Anna K Tarot, and we have the 8 of Swords, Queen of Pentacles in the reversed, and the 4 of Rods. So this is about self-love. You have a little bit like a poor self-image, and you also have a hard time solving problems in your relationships, because you're trying to follow. There's so many people having so many opinions of you, and you're trying to follow their opinions, which make you a very controlled person. So someone likes you with your hair black, and so you're trying to dye your hair black. But someone says, no, let there be like this reddish nuances is in your original hair. That's much more beautiful. And a third person who says, why don't you do highlights in your hair? And then you're trying, it's impossible, to follow all these different directives, like do this, do that, do this. So it's the divine really wants you to love you for who you are, because you're already perfect. You need to make other people's opinions of you less important and your own opinion more important. We have the Queen of Pentacles here. So Queen of Pentacles, when she comes in reverse, it's like you have given enough attention to people's opinions here. It doesn't have to be about your looks. It can be about so many different things. And you have tried to kind of fix their problem by behaving in a better and better fashion. But actually you have just given out a lot of your energy. So it seems like you need to come back into relaxation and realization that you need to put more energy into taking care of yourself. And here you have the 4 of Rods, so it shows that it's a kind of easy fix for you to make your relationships wonderful again. It's just that you need to love yourself enough and let other people love you. Instead of letting them rule you or control you, see to that you are yourself, and don't try to jump so high for everyone, like all the different people's opinions of you or what they ask you to do. Become more relaxed in this, and you will find the people that's belonging with you, and the people around you will probably understand you better when you're not trying to be this chameleon and trying to fit in every situation. When you're more yourself, it's easier to also know who you are and love you for who you are. So the 4 of Rods shows that your relationship is going to end well for you in your relationships. It's just that you need to have a better relationship with yourself. So this is from Energy Oracle cards, and we have the 3rd chakra, Archangel Chamuel, and it's the heart chakra, and it shows this glowing light that comes from your heart. You're such a compassionate person. You're such a wonderful soul. You came here to love people, but if you love them to death while you are not getting any energy, you can't really fulfill your mission. So it's like in the aeroplane where you need to give the oxygen mask to yourself and then to others. So this seems to be important for you to get back in balance in your relationship, that you remember this, because then you can do this grand job of yours. And this is from Gateway Oracle cards. Following your bliss, my soul sings with joy. So we can see that your heart is kind of guiding you in a very beautiful way. So you don't have to worry so much about being in control. Rather follow the flow, following your bliss, following your heart. If it feels in a certain kind of way, express it. If you want a certain kind of thing, go for it. Be a little bit more free with this instead of following all these rules that made you so unhappy. So try to every day do something that's a little bit more free, a little bit more blissful, like a little bit more what you want and a little bit less of the things that you don't want. So it seems like you can also be a person that other people wants to follow. Like your kind of love is a very beautiful kind of love that it wants to be expressed in the world. It's a unicorn. Unicorn is very unique. There's not many of them out there, and she's like dancing here between the sun and the moon, the night and the day. So be all that you can be. Sometimes you will be moody, and then you're okay with being moody, and the next time you're happy and you're okay with being happy. Express like your full heart chakra here, and also creativity in many ways, like following your bliss. And this is from the Grace cards. We have this imagination. So it seems also that you can get a lot of bright ideas that you need to follow. The Queen of Pentacles is sometimes a situation where we need to focus more on our career than the relationship. That maybe we need to learn to love ourselves by making ourselves successful in the area that we love. Okay, so your relationship seems to manage fine. It's just you that missing out on fun things and things that you were here to do because you're not really following your bliss. And it seems like you can have like a very beautiful imagination that can help you with this, that to fulfill yourself, so you can also feel more fulfilled in your relationship. Because you can't hang your life on your relationships. You need to fulfill yourself, and then you will be a part of other people's that have fulfilled themselves, and everyone will have their own foundation. So that will make everyone less touchy-feely and less needy and more like stable and giving. So life's difficulties are a call to consciousness, a grace-inspired event that challenged us to reach beyond limited thinking. So this is, of course, limited thinking. So you might have a certain idea of yourself, like fitting in a certain kind of box. This is me and I can't go outside this box. But you're asked to do so. You're asked to go outside the box and live more your own life, and thereby having more also to offer other people in a relationship, because when you're more independent, you have more things that you can actually bring into the relationship from the outside world or from your unique experiences. So it seems like the only problem in your life is really yourself, that you are in a way for your own happiness. Okay, so I'll move on to the pile number 3. So, pile number 3. You have this direction card, and your tarot cards from the Anna K Tarot says 8 of Pentacles in the reverse, the 2 of Cups, and the 5 of Cups. So it seems like you love someone very dearly, but you have kind of the same problems repeating in this relationship endlessly, and you don't seem to be able to fix it. And this situation or this relationship is making you disappointed over and over and over again. But the good news is that when the divine is forcing you to do repetition like this, it's because you are supposed to become a master in this field. So whatever difficulties you're experiencing in your relationship is so you can become a master, and probably also help others to find a better way. But that doesn't really help you in this situation, maybe, but it's a good way to get perspective. But in this situation, it seems like you love someone, but it doesn't really, for some reason, it doesn't work out. You don't seem to get along, or this person constantly breaks your heart or leaves you in misery. but the love seems to be real. It's just that you're beginners. Since the Eight of Pentacles comes in the reverse, it shows that you are not really skilled at this particular area of relationships as of now. So we have the fourth chakra, Archangel Raphael. So it's the heart chakra, and it shows this beautiful sensitive kind of love that you are expressed with, or you are fulfilled with. It's very gentle kind of love, and I think that's one of the reasons to why you become so upset in your relationships, because why you are so you are a little bit easily bruised, easily wounded, touchy-feely, over-dramatic, things like this. But it's because you come with such a gentle ray of light from the divine. And with this fourth chakra, Archangel Raphael, it shows that you need to learn to toughen up a little bit, okay? You need to learn also to not give your heart away to everyone so easily. You need to learn to guard your heart a little bit better, because you come with this delicate ray, and it's very hard for you to hold this ray out in a world that can seemingly be a little bit harsh and cold. So the first thing you need to do when you come here like this beautiful, fragile little being is to learn how to survive in this harsh world and harsh environment. And it means kind of love and comfort yourself in ways that are pleasing to you. So that means do things to take better care of yourself. Do things to make life more easy for yourself. Do things to make challenging situations more pleasant for you. Even if you're midst in a challenge, you can do things. You can go and take a bath. You can take a walk. You can call a friend. You can do things that ease things up for you, so you don't have to stay in misery. Because it's very important when you are from this heart chakra range that you are doing this with a kind of a grace, like kind of you come with this beautiful grace, but you need to be graceful enough, like adult enough, to be able to be graceful. So when you feel overwhelmed by a situation, see how you can take better care of yourself in this situation. Don't reach out for the other person to take better care of you, because they seem to constantly fail. So what you need to learn here is to, when you are in a challenging situation where you feel maybe betrayed by the other person, or they don't understand you, or they can't love you in the correct kind of way, or give you what you need, give it to yourself. Because this is the first lesson a heart being like you needs to learn on this earth, is how to take better care of yourself so you're surviving in this environment. And we have also receiving from angels. Shimmering wings of angels embrace me with love. So that's really what you're coming from. So your energy is a little bit more highly vibrating maybe from with the rest of the world. So it's a little bit like a culture shock for you to come to this earth and share this love, because people are not working on the same vibrational level. But the divine is. So that's why I'm again going to say take good care of yourself. Because when you take good care of yourself, you help your angels to help you. So when you help your angels to help you, you will be better off. You will be in a more stable situation. You will also become more grown up, because it's very easy for people that comes with this heart energy to get lost in this world and become like childlike and confused. Why is this happening? Why are this person acting like this? Why are they so cruel? Because you're used to hanging about with angels. So now you're hanging about with earth creatures. Yes, you love a lot because your heart chakra is open, but you can't seem to get it really reciprocated. The other person might love you too, but you seem to constantly hurt each other. So you don't have to end this relationship. Just become more resilient inside of it. So whenever the other person disappoints you, do something to help yourself not be so disappointed. And, like do something for you as an individual. If the person doesn't follow through on their promises, fix the situation so that you can take care of it yourself, independent from the other person. And you don't always have to be available to this person, and you don't always have to be like their cheerleader or their support. You can, as they leave you to grow on your own and tend on your own and become grown up on your own, you can also have the same demands on them, that if you are going to fix this situation that they kind of broke a little bit on your own, you don't have to manage them in the same time, like taking care of their feelings. So you need to also learn to let go of other people, like areas that's other people's responsibility. If they they didn't follow through on their promises, so now you are taking the decision to do this, which helps you fix the problem, but it leaves them bare and alone. And it's fine. Let them be that, because then they're also getting the consequences of their action and learning something. So the most important thing here is to be grown up, take responsibility in this situation, and don't become codependent to another person's like attitude or problems. And this is from the grace card. It was direction. You need a little bit direction, so you need to take command in your life over yourself and over your emotion. Look for clues. Grace will lead you to the exact events and experiences we need at precisely the right time. So I think I see in a situation where you are kind of in need, it's a situation where you become disappointed again. But if you see this situation from an adult perspective, how can you manage and fix this situation for you? Then that will be very helpful. In the beginning, you will do things that might seem irrational and make the other person irritated with you. Yeah, you didn't come to our date, so I took the plane to Istanbul. Okay, fine. But sometimes that kind of overreaction needs to happen, because there's a pendulum swing. Before you were maybe just waiting for this person to come and fix the situation for you, and then you're ending up here where you are fixing it all yourself and they are kind of excluded. Eventually it will, become more balanced, and you will be less touchy-feely and more resilient in the different situations. But this is just an explanation to why it's a little bit extra hard for you, because you're used to people or angels behaving in a much better way than they are currently doing here on earth. Okay, so dear number 3s, I hope that helped, and I will move on to pile number 4. So, pile number 4. And this beautiful stone here. So we have listen. And this is the 3 tarot cards for you that comes from the Anna K Tarot. And we see a situation in the past where you have become hurt, really wounded, and someone might have let you down, and you had to kind of let them down because of this. So they're standing there with their love, and you're walking away because with the sword, so they have no more capacity to hurt you. So it's shocked them a little bit, and it wasn't what you wanted to do, but you were forced to do this because you needed to take better care of yourself. And that has been hard for you. It might have been hard for you to let go of the old situation and kind of live in this new situation which you have chosen by yourself as a consequence to not be fully supported in your relationships. And so it's like juggling. It's like you are a beginner a little bit in this, and you need to try your way forward, one foot in front of the other. And it's okay to stumble and fall and go back and start missing maybe this person and wants to go and fix it with them. And next day you think, no, hell no, I'm going to fix it on my own. So it's a typical situation where we get very wobbly. But in the end here, we see the 9 of Pentacles. So you were probably from this situation, you were supposed to learn to love yourself better, respect yourself better, take better care of yourself, and become more calm and adult. And it seems like you have been successful in that. You might, though, feel a little bit lonely, but it's just for now. It's so that you will, this whole situation, we're here to show you, to prove to you that you could make it on your own, that you're not dependent on anyone else. So you don't have to be in codependent relationship. You can always choose just you and the marvelous things that's in your life, instead of inviting maybe someone that breaks your heart. So it seems like you have learned an important lesson here along the road. And we have the fifth chakra, the Archangel Gabriel, and it's the heart chakra. So we have listen, but we also had listen here, but this is communication. So I think you have learned a lot, maybe by listening to other people and listening to, like, looking into this situation, what happened to you, and making conclusions out of it. So it's like you have been silent and watching situations from the outside and trying to, like, realize what is really going on in this situation. And here with the fifth chakra, it feels like you can also start to express this, what you have been through, and maybe help others along the way. Like you have gone on a path that so many people needs to follow after you, and to get rid of bad situations for themselves. And you have done something heroic with being able to do that. So you have a very unique knowledge with which you can help other people, and maybe start to listen to their problems sometimes, and also communicate what you have learned so far and how they can maybe learn from your experiences. So this is from Energy Oracle cards, and this is from Gateway Oracle cards, and it's sharing of yourself. I'm incredibly generous being, and that you are. And I think that has been one of your crutches early on, that you were a very generous being, and it kind of put you in this situation where you got your heart broken. But now you have learned to take much, much better care of yourself. So now comes the time when you can teach this to others, and this love and compassion of yours is not going to put you in a pickle anymore, in a difficult situation, because from now on you have learned to handle this, that you can't be friends with all people. Some, it will be a uncomfortable situation for both, because you can't get along, or things doesn't really go your way. And then you can always lean to taking care of you and taking care of the situation in ways that pleases you. But and that makes a very great foundation for you to be able to share this gift to the world. It doesn't have to be just this, how you deal with difficult relationships and how you take best care of yourself when you are in a challenging situation. It can be so many various different things that you now, with your more solidified capacity, where you have learned to become more successful on your own, that means that you're also in a position where you can share more of yourself to the world. Your unique self has a unique imprint that people need. Okay, so everyone is needed at this earth, and you have a specific knowledge that the universe wish you to share with others. You're a very generous being, and you will continue being so, but you will not give of your own flesh in the future. You will give to a certain limit, and then it's enough, because other people need to learn balance too, and you need to learn balance when you don't rip your heart out from your chest and give it to people. You will have more to give to people in general, and to your life in general. So it will be more balanced relationships for you in the future. And then we have this listen card that came from the Grace cards. When we feel overly attached to an outcome, it is simply an indication that we need to reconnect with our wise self. And that's how the situation were before this Three of Swords card. Like, you got hurt a lot, and then eventually you just started to listen to yourself, and you took this uncomfortable decision to maybe separate from a person, or leave maybe several people behind, because you have learned to listen not only to others but also to yourself now. And this lady, she sits alongside the wisdom well where Odin left one of his eyes. So it means always have an eye, like a part of your attention, into your own body, to your wisdom well, to your emotions. So long beforehand this situation is up, you will know that something is wrong. You will heed the red flags and say, okay, so I'm not comfortable in this situation. Instead of, trying to smile and adjust and kind of endure the situation, you're now more connected with you. You're listening to yourself in a way that makes you being able to follow divine directions. Like when you feel bad, it's probably because something is up and you need to pay attention. When you feel happy, be happy. When you feel sad, be sad. And always, always, when you are with other people, express yourself, you know, the throat chakra here, so that you can be blessed with inner peace. Because when you don't have inner peace, you will not be able to be happy. And you will get inner peace when you learn to listen better to yourself, and also be better on listen to others. Probably in this situation you got a lot of warning signals from what they said, but you didn't want to listen because you didn't want to believe that that was the truth. So it seems like self-love was the important thing for you to learn here, and you have done it. And now you just need to, you know, continue on this journey and realize what was the reason for this, what you learned, and how can you share it with the world, or how can you share yourself in general with the world in a more grown-up and stylish fashion. Okay, so I hope this helped, and I will come up with more readings like this. You can also find my readings for here Sagittarius season up on my channel page. You can click the little Queen of Cups icon there. And until next time, take really good care, and bye bye.